Lil. Pronouns are they, them, she, her. Department I work in is RHY, which is Runaway Homeless Youth Services, which is a drop-in that operates out of the Soho 555 drop-in center. So one of the most amazing parts of my job is that usually a lot of the LGBTQ cases that come through the Runaway Homeless Youth drop-in are given to me based on my work history, working with the LGBT community for about the last 6 years. It is just extremely phenomenal to be able to connect young folks in need to resources that they just might not know about. It's wonderful to connect, like just knowing the ins and outs of the system via living through it myself for the past decade and living through it with my partners. A lot of what I do is helping clients get access to top surgery, helping them find medical care that's appropriate, helping folks with name changes, and then helping them into LGBT affirming shelters, depending on the case, and then eventually helping them into supportive housing, which there's a lot of like LGBT units that I've helped folks apply to and help folks secure housing in. I've been really active, and then in like community and circles. I was a part of a lot of like bookstores and activist centers in my early 20s, and then in my later 20s, like building more authentic community, just like within my personal life. Yeah, I feel like being a social worker is just being able to translate the system. It's just being a bridge. It's just knowing certain hacks. It's just knowing a point of entry, and helping people to understand what to expect, and how to go about it and how long it will take, and knowing it front, back, and center, which I'm fortunate to have done in my own life. And then I think, of course, while you don't bring all of yourself into a session, clients, like when, as a queer staff, clients, I feel, can sense when you've been through something yourself, when you can give them pro tips that are authentic and from your own life and from your own lived experience, can build this sort of really beautiful professional and clinical relationship that you can have with young people that is also, with, in a lot of senses, like representation, showing them that someone can also move through these systems and end up on a side where they're working full-time at an agency helping other people to access these services. And I think that that is really not to be discounted in how powerful it can be to young people to see someone who's maybe been through the systems themselves, or who knows the aftercare routines of top surgery intimately. I feel extremely humbled and fortunate and honored every day to be trusted with the stories that I'm given, and to be in a position to support people who have been in situations I've seen, and see them through it and witness them and walk them through it and ensure that at the very least you are a kind and supportive person who will listen to them and witness them fully, even if you can't always solve all of the fuck shit, can I say that? All
Sure.
of the trauma, all of the BS that they have to deal with a day. You can at least, like, you won't gaslight them. You'll acknowledge what it is, and tell them that they deserve a better world. And that while I don't believe in the "it gets better" rhetoric, I say it gets different. And that there's going to be a lot of pain and struggle, but also there's a lot of unimaginable beauty and joy and bliss on the other sides of these oceans of pain. And if they can just see it through this storm, I can promise them that there will be bliss, there will be peace, there will be joy eventually. And one thing I wanted to speak on as you were talking about like joy and pleasure is like the small quiet moments of like intra-community funniness where you're like talking someone through their stick and poke career and telling them it's a rite of passage and seeing them in that way. And like small things about kikis and what pride people think is the best. Those tend to be my favorite moments, where they say, oh shit, this is an old gay. Just been to a lot of prides, and a lot of LGBT community health centers and clubs, and yeah, taking it out of the clinical setting, because part of like building trust, I think, is definitely doing that, within reason and respect.